was a secondary road. He proved a lot of pictures, to show that. They want us to take that improvement period all the time, to keep letting it run and run on pretty much. And through all this time, I had 6 lawyers that quit on me, didn't want to do the job. My husband had 2, and they didn't want to, really do their job. I mean, they done it, but they didn't do anything. How do I want to put it? If you're going to quit, they didn't want to finish their job, or they wouldn't have quit.
Well, it's called abandonment.
Yes.
It is something that you can actually have their license yanked for abandoning you. That's another thing we're looking into now, is whether these lawyers, were they public defenders?
Yes, most it was like Josh Edwards, Susan Brief, that.
Right, I know her.
Mike, it was at the end. I had Mike Witt. He was a blind man. Didn't even introduce me to him or nothing. He put me down. My husband got sick through all this.
Right.
Very, very sick. Like he might not have lived up Morgantown for all these months, and it's just one of those. They put me down for that. I tried to do my best I could do. Go to work.
So you were trying to work and raise a family and be a caregiver for your husband.
Well, yes.
And at the same time, CPS is trying to seize your children.
At this time, the kids was out of the home in a foster home, but they still was on me saying I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing, but I seen them 1 day a week and was only allowed to call them 1 day a week. So the month and a half that he was at that hospital, no, I didn't run to Summersville by myself because...
What's an hour and a half?
That they made us go through these 2 years, run to Summersville every Tuesday. In the laws of their book, they're supposed to meet you halfway or at the courthouse of Marlington.
Now that's a very important thing. We'll make a note of that. I'm looking for the things that they have violated your civil rights, and that's one of them. Here you are. You got a burden on your heart anyway, making a living, taking care of your husband, and all that. And then they're having you run to Summersville as if they don't know where Summersville is. An hour and a half away. There's about 2 mountains between here and there, maybe 3.
Yes.
And
also, I worked 2 jobs. They took out 5 alimonies. As they took the children out of the home, I paid for them too.
So you were really financially supporting the children too.
Yes, through all these months. And Ted White helped a lot. He said that the foster parents get paid to take care of the children while they're in the home. Also, the money I was paying the state through my jobs. I couldn't figure out they made me pay, but they didn't make my husband pay. He didn't get sick at this time before that happened.
Right.
The charges of the children being out of the home.
But you're the one that they took the money out of.
Yes. 5 of them. 2 of them I pay for now. Like I told you on the phone, that's another... it just seems like they want to take my kids away from me all the time. This is another thing, but I pay child support with him also. He has more money than I have. I seen here years ago in Pocahontas County, and he won and I didn't. So he pretty much handles those kids with rules.
Your husband is Marcel?
Yes.
Is he the one that they did? One of the cops did something dirty with him?
Yeah. Well, they
broke his arm or something like that.
No, they didn't break his arm or nothing, but these cops around here was nitpicking on us at this time.
Right.
If they see us out, they pull us over. They did catch Marcel one time. He didn't have his driver's license because of an unpaid fine, and
well, he had sued him at one time, right?
No.
Okay, well maybe I've got the wrong person.
I'm sorry. No, he probably. It would be nice to these people. I really think should deserve it because there's a lot of things. It's in this case, it should be done like that. Damon, if he'd see you out somewhere, he'd pull you over. They knew I paid child support. They wanted to come up and get all my. I don't own no personal property. They know they took the one kids. I'm paying for these other one.
Right.
I'm working all the time. It's just like they know I don't have nothing. So it's like they nitpick on you a lot. I think the law around here. After they took the kids, they don't now, but you never know when you're out here if they'll bother you again or.
So they finally took the kids completely away from you.
Yes.
Did you have to sign over your rights to them?
No, that's one thing I asked. I wanted to appeal it as Mike Witt quit. He didn't want to do it. He said he'd appeal it. I've never heard of appeal since.
Well, that is called abandonment. That can cause the guy to lose his license. Sound to me like he should
Yes.
lose his license if he's no better lawyer than that.
Yes.
What about Susan Breeze? I've been trying to following her a little bit. Is she any account?
She was okay. She was on my side there. I'll give her a little bit, but at the end, she told me out in the courthouse yard down there that she worked for me, not the CPS, because
Exactly.
they tried to get the lawyers down there in the circuit or the court upstairs at Marlington to go against their clients while they're pretty much there in the courtroom that I seen. I went to I don't know how many courts down there. I mean, I could add them up, 10, 15, through these years.
Did Susan Breeze indicate that they put any pressure on her?
Yeah. When my husband got sick, she thought it was so cruel what they was doing.
I think she's a compassionate person, but I worry that she's too soft.
Yeah, and then when he got sick, yeah, she was too soft. She was worried about. She thought it was cruel what they, he was laying up there, didn't know if he's going to be here or not. The kids were gone. She thought it was real cruel. And I seen that in her. But she also cared about the case, to me, she was okay. Then when my husband got out, he got a staph infection.
Right.
So they tried to make this thing that I had diseases and all kind of
okay.
stuff.
So they thought they had an angle there. Now
Yes.
this was CPS?
CPS, my lawyers, the courtroom, they said it in the court down there. They wanted me to go get checked for. I did go get checked for everything, but the point of everything is I couldn't see the kids for months at a time because they said I had diseases.
But how did they know that?
Because he had staff in the hospital, and I guess because I was taking care of him, around him, I looked up staph on the line, and you can't get it pretty much unless you're have an open cut wound or you're
And
out.
basically, it's a hospital-borne thing.
Yes, or big places, jails or airports, or
Right.
when you're around a lot of people. I try to tell them that down there, and they just don't test you for staph. I talked to several nurses that wouldn't, doctors that wouldn't do it. They look at you like you're crazy when you're going in here asking these things. So,
Well, basically, did they try to take? What was their final reason for taking the kids on a more permanent basis?
more permanent basis at the end of all this, they made us go to Lewisburg down there to counseling. We done this also, is a long drive. I wanted to go to Seneca in Marlington, which they was very wealthy to do it. Jimmy Lane wrote a letter that he was very against Seneca down there. He would not accept nothing from Seneca.
So you're saying CPS will not validate Seneca's work?
No, I have
Somebody's wasting some money then. There's a lot of people being used by Seneca. This is the first time I've heard it, that CPS won't accept that. And they made you go to Lewisburg.
Yes, down there to Inner Dimensions down there. Me and my husband drove down there 2 days. Out here paying all this money for this anyway. He's making us drive down there to see this lady. To do, it was classes with her and parenting.
Do you remember her name? Was it Dr. Ham?
No. She was a younger lady. I have it written at home. I'm sorry, but a lot of names. There's so many of them.
But they told you exactly where you were to go.
Yes.
Okay.
It's the Inner Dimensions down in Lewisburg.
See, what I'm trying to figure out is if I suspect there's some racketeering involved, that there's some type of circle going on. I've identified so far Davina Agee and her Missy Keatley.
Oh yeah.
Now these people are paid. They're bounty hunters.
Yep.
In other words, they get paid for providing supervised monitoring.
Yes.
And then, of course, Davina's husband is a state police, so he can enforce everything. And that's why I called him the enforcer. Now, what I'm trying to figure out is if there's some sort of financial ring going on here.
Yes.
Because it appears to me that that Davina Agee, she was CPS worker and then she quit. Now she's got this company that serves as a vendor for CPS.
Also, I'll tell you this. Why I'm in this, she was involved as my provider, her and Missy Keatley.
Was this a supervised visitation?
Yeah, she was supposed to come to my home doing parenting classes and life skills and all these. I told my husband, I don't know much about the law, but I would look at this as where she took the kids out of the home. That I know she was a CPS worker. I know she bought this provider business. I didn't think it was right she done that. To me, that's like conflict of interest in the case anyway.
Now, that's right. When was this? Is this back in 2011?
It's 12, or it was 11 and 12.
Okay. So what I'm hearing you say is that Davina Agee, while she was still working for the government, CPS worker, had this business on the side.
Well, she might have, but no, it wasn't on the side. She done quit as a CPS worker.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to figure out is exactly when she quit being a CPS worker, because I don't think legally she could have done both.
No.
What she did, in my opinion, was stack the deck.
Yeah.
She ensured that when she did go on her own, that she had already ensured that she had plenty of business, and you were one of those
Oh yeah,
persons.
we was for a year. I'd say a year and a